share my screen. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this. We actually are stepping up our game, guys, and doing presentations. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how pretty it is. So we wanted to start first off with recognition. You guys are all on the board and I am not, so congratulations to all of you. I technically am on the board, but it's under Ben's name, which makes me annoyed. So I didn't put his name up.
Hey, you know what I was thinking real quick when you mentioned that earlier is if it's just a customer, why don't you have them switch over to you? Unless you like having the volume over there.
It's a discount coach.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she re-upped her Shakeology order, and before I could catch it, she was under Ben, and I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't honestly know how I'm on there this month.
What?
I know, and it was last month, and I don't know if it's because, I don't know how this works, but I have one of my leads who she was not assigned as a like Shakeology lead. She was just assigned as like a free lead, and she keeps ordering, and I don't know if, you're only supposed to get 2 points per person, but.
If you, like Ben, who's not on the board, he got it because this girl bought a challenge pack once before, signed up as a discount coach, canceled her order, and then they order a new home direct order, you get points from that.
Oh, I did have that happen. Okay.
So that's probably what happened to you. If it's the same customer, but yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then we also wanted to start doing top producers because this is really a position of where your income is coming from. So your PV, I put the little description at the bottom there, but it's basically how much you personally have made on commissions or sales. It's not necessarily the number of the income that's coming in, but what it kind of is measured by. And so that's just a good thing to shoot for. Clearly we're all not super high right now, which is fine, but we wanted to acknowledge you guys because you're doing awesome.
Yeah.
here.
So I want to say that, like, you know, if you ever attend Melanie's calls, she always puts like the 500, like people who are hit 500 PV or higher. So that's a really good benchmark to set for yourself is, can I get myself every week to 500 PV? And just making sure that you read that, the description is, because we pulled that straight off of the Beachbody website. So it's basically your personal volume, anything that you order personally, like your Shakeology orders, any additional supplements, anything that you order personally, and anything that your personal customers order under you also. So not your coaches, but your customers. So that makes sense.
Your coaches
every
don't
week
towards PV.
And that's every week. Your coaches do not. That counts as team volume. So that's where the differential is. That's what falls under your team volume. So your personal volume is your customers' orders and your personal orders. And then your team volume is even discount coaches, working coaches, anything like that falls under that lump of volume, which formulates your team cycle bonuses.
And I'm really sorry in advance if you guys hear dyno trucks in the background. I just have to be in the same room as Caleb since Ben's gone. So
You're good. I don't hear anything. And then also, before we move on to the next slide, I have 2 videos that I pulled that are very short, like both of them I think are 12 minutes or less. And they explain just for yourself, you know, kind of as like a refresher, because it was even good for me to watch. And there are other really cool facts in there about rank advancing and stuff like that, and how to choose between building for rank or building for volume and what the difference is. So they're really cool. I'm going to post those tomorrow so you guys are not overwhelmed with stuff tonight. But just so you kind of watch those during the week for some personal development or something like that. But they're really, really broken down very well from other coaches.
Basically, that kind of to sum it all up, like at the end of the day, I think hitting Success Club 5 is really important, especially in December, like we've talked about before, so you can qualify for all those crazy leads that are coming in January. But if you're also building for income, which I think most of us are, your personal volume is really what you want to keep tabs on, and your team cycle bonus. So if you're Emerald or higher, you'll qualify for team cycle bonuses. And they, like, once you hit a certain point, they, like right now, and I don't know if Monique can attest to this too, usually my team cycle bonus is bigger than my personal commissions of sales. So there's going to be a point where that takes off, but your personal volume really represents income coming in. So that's helpful. We wanted to talk tonight about goal setting because if you're a nerd like me, kind of planning ahead towards January is something that I think is really helpful. But one thing that I think a lot of us can struggle with is setting goals and then not taking action steps or having them be too big. I know this is something that Monique and I both ran into this year of we're both pretty driven and set some seriously large goals for us to hit like this week that just didn't happen, which is really good to learn the hard way. It also makes me mad and disappointed. Not about any of you guys, but more in myself. And there's nothing I could do. Like, I wasn't planning on getting pregnant, or, you know, there's a million things that can come in. But we really wanted to like break down with you guys, not just setting a goal, but making sure it's actionable and something that you can really feel confident in pursuing that will motivate you, but also not be so unattainable that it's just discouraging. I don't know if any of you, I think Julian, you're a go-getter too. I know that's something that you can do.
You also don't want to set them too small either. You know what I mean? It's like finding the balance between the two, where you're not just setting this really small goal, like saying, oh, I'm going to hit diamond by, you know, May, and you're really just one coach away from diamond. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to like set yourself up for that too. You really want to push yourself to something bigger, but not like over, you know, making this huge lofty goal that's like, there's really truly maybe a 1 in a million chance that it will happen, which is exactly what I did to myself last year.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Sorry, I'm eating broccoli over here.
I think also that, like, just going back to this goal setting before you like jump into it, but you know, Abby said for someone like her who's like, she loves lists and she loves to like knock things off, and she really she thrives on that. And I know a lot of us on the team do. I don't. I am like completely opposite. I'm like the free bird, like everything will happen when it happens, but I'll do the work behind it to make it happen. And I'm kind of just like, woohoo, whatever, you know, like it's going to happen. So it's important for both of us on both sides of that spectrum to set goals and follow it. It doesn't matter what your personality is or what you're driven by. It's just important to set the goals and make it measurable and put action behind it to make sure that you're going towards it. So regardless of how you work, it's not going to work either way. Just like Abby said, if you don't put the work and the effort into it behind it, no matter what your personality type is. So I just wanted to say that because that's not me. I'm completely opposite.
Well, and I think most of us, I mean, I know all of us in here work or have kids, and which is a job in and of itself, I think. And so even for me, having goals is so helpful because it almost helps me break down every day what I need to do. And that makes it feel less overwhelming of like, okay, I know that I need to invite 3 people tonight. And if at the end of the day, that's all I've done, I can feel really good about that because I know that's moving me forward. So, I don't know, Katie or Julianne, if you guys are familiar with SMART goals. Have you guys heard that phrase before? Yeah.
We use them at work to set all our like year goals. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you have anything that's worked well for you in like a work setting that you like them or don't like them? Or
I mean, it definitely makes you process more instead of just quickly saying, oh, this is my goal. You have to like process.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure it is specific and measurable and attainable, and kind of, I think each of those steps in and of itself is almost its own processing process. So
Mm-hmm.
I try to use this whenever I'm goal setting. It's helpful.
Yeah. Shalene Johnson actually has a really cool podcast about it. If you guys ever listen to hers. One thing that was really helpful for me because we do this a lot at my job also, but in kind of translating this to coaching, was having it be, because for me, it's like so easy to be driven by rank, because honestly, I'm super motivated by that. But also to think of, so like specific and measurable were easy. Like, I want to be diamond and I want it to be now. But the relevant piece was really a wake-up call for me, because it's like I could pursue, because like for instance, I know for a fact, because of being on retreat in Florida, one of the top 10 coaches, she doesn't make as much as a couple of the like 2-star diamonds do, which income isn't the end game of this whole thing. Obviously it's helping people, but it was just kind of a good wake-up call for me of like, you know what, there's ways where you can build your way literally to the top. And if that is what your goal is, then that's fine. But if your goal is a foundation for your family, or being able to come home from your job, or putting your husband through grad school, or like whatever it is, maybe your SMART goals are not to push, I want to be an elite coach next year. Maybe it's going to be, I want to be diamond, and then I want to build that volume so that it's freaking strong, or I really want to be reaching this specific group of people. So I think one thing that I know Monique and I both really have on our hearts is we have clearly big visions for where we want to go as leaders. And we want you guys to come with us, but we want you to come with us in your own relevant way. And so finding, like, coming alongside you guys and helping you with the goal planning of, okay, what is it for you that's going to be relevant and going to be timely? Because maybe you do want to do this, but you don't have time to spend 5 hours a day pushing it, which is what I ran into of, like, I literally have 2 hours a day max that I can spend on this business. So maybe I need to adjust because I don't have the time that other people do. I don't know if any of you guys have other things you want to add to that at all. No. Katie, you're familiar with this as well, right? Yeah. What really helped me is just to, like, write down my goal. And I mean, it literally is that. Can you track the progress? So whether it's an income goal that you want to hit each month, or a number of coaches in Success Club each month, or whatever that is to you. And then I think the attainable is really the important piece of, like, okay, you have these, but how are you going to break it down? Which is kind of the reverse engineering process. So is it possible for you to hit? And then what are the steps that you need to do? And then giving yourself that timeline, which kind of puts some fire in the belly. And I would say in this piece, if you can, like Monique said, don't wait till May if you're one coach away. Like, say my goal is February then. If you're not even close to Diamond, then May is a great timeline to put it that, because it gives you some time. So that whole piece there. Monique, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
No, but this is just so perfect, because that video that I'm going to share is exactly going to coincide with this perfectly in showing you guys whatever your goal is, whether it's rank or income, because just like that was a really good point, Abby, about that top 10 coach that doesn't make as much as the 2-star diamond, or I want to say she's like 1 star right now, because of the way she's able to, she spent her last 4 years stacking her legs, and she just wanted income. So it really truly is that relevant and what it means to you. You know, if you are in the middle and you really like recognition, but you also really like,
your mic is like fading out. Yeah. Say it again.
Can you hear me?
A little bit.
I was going to say, if you're driven by both, if you really like rank and you really like income, you really need the income, or that's something that is important to you, and you're kind of like in the middle. Because like for me, I'm super driven by recognition. Like I want to win. I want to be on the top. I love recognition, but I also need financial stability. You know what I mean? I want to be a contributing factor to my household. Like I don't want to give that up. Mm-hmm. So when you're in the middle like that, it's like you have to choose one or the other at that point until you reach that goal, until you've attained what it is that you've set out. You know, it's going to be, I think for a lot of us, you're going to have to choose at one point or the other. And then later on you can adjust and say, okay, now I'm going to build for rank after I hit that income goal, or vice versa. You know what I mean? I hit that income goal. Now I'll push for rank. So if you kind of fall in the middle, just think you're going to have to choose at one point or the other. At some point they will like collide a little bit, but to get to super high, and you're watching this video that I'll post, I might actually post it tonight because it's so good. It's only 12 minutes and I really want you guys to watch it. But you will want to get to like 5-star, because there are bonus pools that will help you get to that income that you might be, that higher income that you might be wanting. So you will have to choose at this point when you're setting these SMART goals. You will have to really be like, what's most important to me right now? Right now, is it income or is it rank? You know what I mean? What do I need right now, and what will I be okay with letting go of? You know what I mean? Will that mean for me, like, if I could really guarantee myself that I could create this income that I want, would I be okay with not being a 2-star if I could still build it on diamond? You know what I mean? Or 1-star or whatever. Like, that's something you have to process. It's a personal thing, but just know that it's achievable. Whatever it is that you set, it's achievable as long as you lay it all down in a good path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is obviously the outline of Diamond, and I personally think that is for every coach on our team, even if you're not super pushing towards doing this as a career. I think that Diamond is really where you want to be, because you get so much more income, even more so than Emerald. Yeah. And once you're stable there, you could just park yourself there and that's fine. And you don't have to build a team and do all this work, but it gives you a maximum amount to build off of. So this is really where I would kind of think, obviously these are the 3 vital behaviors on here, but one thing that and actually I don't know, Monique, if you ran into this as much, that I ran into is I pushed really hard for Diamond, and I built it off of discount coaches.
Yep.
And so that is totally a strategy you can do. That did not build me for income, because you don't get personal volume from your discount coaches. And then when they start dropping, which they do because it's more of a discount for them, you're kind of stuck scrambling of like, oh shoot, I have to fill this hole. And so I don't know that I would do it another way looking back, but that's just something to be aware of, that I have a very unstable diamond right now because of that. And that's totally my own doing. So one of my personal goals for this next year is to really like get that more solid. So if you're someone who's like, oh, I really want just the income, I would get yourself to diamond, get it stable, and then just stack your weak leg, with people if you want to do that, and customers. But I think that this should be a goal for everybody, just because wherever you're at, it's going to help you, and it will help you be a better coach to your challengers. It's just going to benefit you all around there. And really the 3 vital behaviors are how you do that. It's at the end of the day, what it boils down to. So this is the full breakdown of the things. I think that really the kind of breakdown goal for hitting that for you guys is to do new coaches, whether it's working or discount coaches. Invite every challenger to the business opportunity, which is something that honestly I was so shy about for so long. But I think if you just make it a part of your challenge groups where you're talking about it, if you're presenting it if you're talking about it in your posts, it doesn't have to be all this stuff about income. It could be about community, trips that you've gone on, whatever, the Christmas present your coach sent you, whatever it is. But just starting to drop that in lets people know then when you message a challenger about it or you post about it in their challenge groups, they're never going to be like, oh, I haven't even heard about this. What is this? Or that's multi-level marketing. That's nasty. It's like, oh, I've seen Katie talk about this in that retreat that she went on with Monique, or Julianne posted those cool pics from Nashville. Like, they're going to start being aware of it. And the least they can do is say no, and that's fine. Maximize the health bet. It's going to be huge. January is such a great time, so I'm actually going to do a post about it tonight. I would really be pushing that for sure. I don't know if you have thoughts on that, Monique, at all, or any of you guys.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's been very, very helpful for me to get old discount coaches and old customers back engaged, which will build your volume. I'm even having previous discount coaches who canceled their account completely and just came back to me tonight. And she's like, me and my husband both want to do this. Mm-hmm. So, it's do not hesitate I'm using that in every single one of my messages that I'm sending to people. Like, now is the best time to get going. Like, I know you want to start, focusing on this for 2017, and you're also going to get paid to do it. So why wouldn't you start now?
And you can use the phrasing like this summer. I did a whole live video on what the health bet was. And I basically was like, here's your challenge pack. It's cheaper than a gym membership. Also, if you hate it, you get a guaranteed money back, or you can return the empty bag and get all your money back if you don't like it, which I think you will, but you have that safety guard. And at the end of the day, you're guaranteed money, even if it's only $20 or whatever. Like, where other health bets, you're not guaranteed money like that. This one you are. So really it's kind of a win-win. And when you can break it down in that value piece for people, I think that can help a lot of just be motivating of like, hey, just give me a month. I promise that you're going to get results. It's going to be great. I'm going to walk you through it. But really kind of talking that up now, because the momentum that you build through it now through Christmas, and just, I'm going to try to mention it at least twice a week in my posts, not like twice a week in like advertisement posts, but just mentioning it and stuff will really help you out a lot, because there'll be all those January people who jump in the bandwagon.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Julianne, were you going to say something? Sorry, I think I interrupted you.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I was just going to say, yeah, same thing. Like, I've already had people say they want to join, and I've basically used it as an excuse to re-message people from free group. Like that.
Well, that's a good call.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so like, because there were people who right after the free group, I messaged them and they were like, oh, not now. So then it gives a good phrasing to say like, hey, I'm not sure if you heard about this. That's what I say. Like, I'm not sure if you heard about this, but Beachbody's doing a health bet. So if you're interested, basically all you have to do is, drink Shakeology 5 times a week, work out 3 times a week, and you get guaranteed money. Are you interested? And I already have people who are like, hey, sign me up. And so that's, I think, especially presenting it, I guess just using it as a door reopener, because I don't want to be that annoying person. I'll message once, maybe a follow-up, and if they're not interested, kind of where do you go from there? So that's kind of what I've been using it as, and I already have several people who want to do it. So
That's a really good call. I might do that and then also do like a live video in my free group itself that's not doing anything right now, but just sitting there. 'Cause it's like a couple of minutes. I think you can also send emails from your Coach Online office. And I think, I haven't checked, but they have like postcards in there where it can send like a cool graphic to people. And I think they probably have one for the Health Vet too. If you wanted to like send an email blast, you could do that. Julian, that's brilliant though.
That was so good. Thanks for sharing that.
yeah, it's been working so far, so I'll try to keep it up.
Do you want to talk about, Monique, the trainings and then marketing plan piece?
Yes. So another way and another thing that we wanted to say, just it's super important for us, but another thing that we want for you guys to just be sharing about a lot and just to get people's attention is first attend at like as many different functions like Super Saturdays and stuff like that as you possibly can. We know from where we all are that they have one every single, in our states. So I know you guys do. I know we do. Julianne, you guys probably do over there because you're in a pretty big area too. So if you guys can get to a Super Saturday, like the whole calendar for the year is set out. Like I really recommend you just get your yearly calendar out, get those dates plugged in and make it a non-negotiable and just plan your year around those dates because it's so important, first of all, to reinvigorate yourself because we have been in this long enough. All four of us have been in here long enough to know the highs and the lows and the emotional roller coaster that this is, right? So when you get to an event like that, Super Saturday, it's like I'm instantly pumped up. I mean, the last time Katie and I went to the last one together, we had a couple other coaches with us. We sat down afterwards and we just masterminded and brainstormed for like an hour and a half because we were so pumped up and so reinvigorated and so on fire. And we had all these we are still running on some of the plans that we made back in October. You know what I mean? And those are going into February, which is so rad to do. So not only does it help you, but it also gives you stuff to post about and share about. And look how awesome it is to coach. Look at this community that we have. Look at these things that we learn. For us here in San Diego, I don't know what any other marketplace is doing, but we have Tony Horton coming, which is rad, so rad. So, and they're having a photo op. You can take pictures with him. I mean, that's a huge thing. So if you're in this area, I don't know what you guys are doing, if you've seen anything about your areas, about guest speakers or anything like that, but that's definitely something that I'm going to talk about. I have a picture of him and me from Summit. So I'm going to post that and just talk about Super Saturday, that he's going to be there. Because I always remember that, I think Melanie just mentioned it on a call recently too, that she got either Shannon Hargrave or Alyssa Shoemaker, one of the top 10 coaches, by posting about Super Saturday, and they went to Super Saturday and they signed up as a coach. So it's like, don't be ashamed of these events. These are fun things. These are things that people will want to know about that they don't know exist. And if we're not sharing it, they'll never know. And that's something I'm at fault of too. I share it after the fact. I don't share it leading up to it, so it's definitely something that I want to do myself. We also want you guys to be thinking about Summit. Put that on your calendar because one of our big goals is to get a house together and, do fun trainings, like have one big team house together. So it would not only eliminate cost, like help cost wise with us, but just to have us all together. And plus we can help Abby with the baby.
I have like a week to cancel my ticket that I bought with Julian and Summit, and I will have a 2-month-old.
Yep.
And Ben and Caleb, well, I'm not going to pay for a ticket for them to New Orleans because that's crazy.
No, we all got you.
Yeah, I feel really nervous. Yeah, it was so much fun last time. Yeah, Monique, I was actually on the phone with her last week. I'm like, maybe I should cancel. She's like, no, we'll all help.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to go. You cannot miss that.
Yeah.
So
I have to drop off really quick. I have a super early work call.
Bye, Julie. Thanks for jumping on.
Good to talk to y'all.
Bye.
So thanks.
Good night. So the next thing after that, after Summit, which again, put on your calendar, make it a priority to get there, start saving for the ticket. Now, if you can't buy the ticket before the end of the year, that's going the rate will go up. So they make it incremental. If you didn't earn it and you cannot earn it any longer, for any new coach that still signs up, like I want to say by the end of January. So whether you have new coaches or new coaches just sign up by the end of January, they can still qualify and get the free ticket. But if you don't qualify anymore, it's I think now it's at $195 by the end of the year. It goes up to $295 right before Summit. So just be planning ahead for that. And then lastly, we really want to reiterate making a marketing plan every month. You know, we always make one and post it in the group. That you're welcome to follow if you want. You don't have to. Everyone's welcome to just or build off of that or change it up to how whatever suits you. But it's just important that you do it every month and that you actually stick to it, because I'm even guilty of that sometimes where, I'll miss a date and I'm just like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to let it go, or, I'll just push it off. But it's so important to stay consistent, not only for yourself to keep your own peace of mind and just make life easier for you, but for, people seeing your stuff consistently. So if they know every single month we're starting New Coach Basics on the 1st, they're used to seeing that. They know, like if they were to ask, they're going to just know in their mind because they see us posting about it, or that we at the last Monday of the month, we always have a business opportunity. You know what I mean? We always have something like that, like what is coaching or something like that. They always know that our challenge group is going to start the first Monday of the month. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that we're consistent in, whatever calendar you set for yourself is important for twofold, for you and your peace of mind, and for your audience and people who are watching and who are potentially going to sign up with you.
And I think that I have totally relied on this, and I don't think it's disingenuous, but on the fake it till you make it strategy, it makes you look more professional. It makes you look like you know what you're doing. And even if you're totally flying by the seat of your pants, which I'm doing 90% of the time, it gives you a structure to follow, and your followers don't know that. So they are like, oh, wow, Julianne's got another free group. This is amazing that she plans these out every month, blah, blah, blah. So I think that it really helps not only you, but it helps your image and your branding, being clear that like, oh, this isn't just some weird fad where you're going to throw everyone into a leggings group or do weird makeup tutorials all the time. But, like, nothing against any of those people, but I think what can really set you apart I don't know where the spider robots are. In a sea of multi-level marketers on social media, I think it can set you apart to look like a professional. I don't know where the spider robots went. I think they fought them all off. Drama. We're putting it out there. I feel a little awkward about it when we're airing our dirty laundry. These are our goals. We wanted to be vulnerable with you guys as leaders on this team we set goals as well. I think, Monique, hopefully you don't mind me saying this. These were also our goals for this year. So
I actually want to say that's not true. I mean, yes, it was, but we also pushed and said we were going to be 5-star by the end of the year. You know what I mean? In an unrealistic time frame. Like we started that in July, saying we're going to be 5-star by the end of the year. Yeah. And then at the last minute said, oh, let's push it back and we'll be 2-star by the end of the year, which wasn't even realistic either.
We didn't have a plan in place.
No, we just said these things. We're going to do these in place. So we're starting we're setting our own SMART goals. They're going to be like small chunks of measurable bites of a larger picture that we know we can attack and attain. And it might happen before Summit. We might hit 2-star before Summit, and that's great. But we're giving ourselves enough time, knowing what it takes now, knowing the work that has to go in it now. Like Abby said, now she's realistic. All year she thought, once you kind of, and that really helped me, the time block schedule, truly put myself in a picture of how much I'm actually working every day and what work I'm doing in this time. So when you really break it down like that, like it feels like you're spending all this time, like I'm working hours, and really you're just like scrolling, looking for ideas or watching training videos, or, those are not the things that's not work. Those are not the things that are pushing our business forward. Though, we have to do certain steps and do certain things in order to attain these goals. Right. So when I personally put that time block schedule together and I really looked at it and I was like, wow, I'm actually working literally working my business 5 hours a day, all encompassing that's what I'm doing. Even though it was spread out in chunks, sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes in the evening, it equaled out to be 5 hours. And for me, it felt like a lot more. And it was also very wearing on my brain because I was like, I feel like I'm working and working and working and nothing's happening. But it's because I wasn't realistic with how much time I was working, what I was doing in that time, and what I really actually needed to do and how much time I really needed to put. Like you said, Abby, you can only realistically work 2 hours a day. So how do we readjust our goals and what can we fit in those hours that we know we have and what we can do in those hours that will actually make it happen? You know, I think that for me was the biggest eye opener.
Yeah. You just hit the nail on your head too when you said like you could be working but just scrolling through Facebook looking for ideas. Like I think that blocking yourself out time gives you, and when you're busy, which oh god, it gives you, when I know we're all busy, and so it gives you that incentive to be like, you know what, this isn't just scrolling Facebook. Like I have to invite. I love Teamsy for that reason. It keeps my power hour for me. It works really, really well. But yeah, I'm not doing like the sexy fun things. It's like the behind the scenes. And what I really am coming into 2017, and this is not a cut against anyone on our teams at all. It's more of a realization for myself is I like want every one of you to succeed and be top 10 coaches because I believe in you. But if the people on my team don't want that, or they're not driven in the same ways that I am, I care about you guys and I want to invest my time in you, but I also need to not put all my eggs in like hoping that you suddenly catch a vision that's mine and not yours. And so for me to go into 2017 with a very clear goal of like, I want to come alongside you and help you, but I'm also want to find other runners and other people to present this opportunity to. And I don't want all that pressure. Technically, do I have enough people on my team to be 5-star elite? Yeah, I do. But no, not everybody wants that, and that's okay. So it kind of just for me to reset my mindset of like working with the willing, giving you guys what you need, but also still being okay with moving towards my goals as well. So yeah. What are kind of assignment, if we can say that, because I really think it's helpful, and I know this week is busy with Christmas, but if you can have this, I think before New Year's, it's so helpful, is to make a goal board. It can be online. It can be writing it on a scratch piece of paper. I know there's like fun actual like websites you can do this on, but to make a goal board for yourself and post it in our group so we can see where people are at. And I think that's really cool because then we can come alongside one another, because I bet there's going to be people whose goals kind of align and you can work together. But it just also keeps you accountable to what you actually want to do and making sure that it is, you know, learn from our mistakes, not too big, but also we want you to push yourselves too. And we believe you guys, like every single one on our team, we could all be freaking 2-star by Summit. Like
I know, seriously.
that's the thing. So yeah, I would love to see all of you guys do that if possible. Cause I think it's really cool.
Yeah. We're doing it too, just so you guys know. So that's exciting. I think personally myself, I'm going to do similar to like what Melanie asked everyone to do in the Rising Stars, like the half and half, you know, like what your successes were from 2016 and what goals are for 2017, because I tried doing that online vision board thing and it takes way too much time. Like for me, that's time. I'm like, I don't want to set aside the time to do do that.
Make it look
It's
pretty.
probably faster to like cut out the old school and put it on a
Nice.
yeah.
Totally. Yep.
So I'd probably either do that or just write it out for me personally, because I really tried doing that online one. It took me forever.
Oh, I get way too distracted with wanting it to look pretty, where if I just like write it out on a piece of paper, I'm like, here's my goals.
Yeah.
I don't need to find the perfect image for my dream home.
Cool. So Katie, do you have any questions, any thoughts, concerns?
I should have been writing them down, I guess, but I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, if you guys need anything, let us know. You can always post them later. But yeah, that's what we got this week. And we all want you to have a kick-ass week next week.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I think we probably won't do a call next week because that's Christmas night. That would be
that'd be weird.
Yeah, we'll just skip next week. I mean, I love you guys, but I don't want to be on a call.
Yeah. But we will probably do one that week after, before the end of the year, just to really get you guys, you know, put you in the mind frame, and whoever needs the push and the help to really end the year strong and at Success Club, if that's what you want. So We'll get together and pick the best date and time and night. We will also, real quick before the last 2 minutes end, we are definitely, Katie and I, anyone that wants to join us, we're doing Abby, I don't know if you still wanted to do it, but we're going to do a sneak peek on the 28th. And so if you wanted to join us or if you wanted to throw anyone in there, you're totally welcome.
Yeah, I don't have anybody, but there's a couple people that I think are interested.
Yeah.
So I'll double check with them. And yeah, if they are, I'll totally contribute.
Yeah.
For sure. One thing that I was going to mention that I forgot that I'm personally going to do because it's free and I've done it before, but honestly, I kind of half-assed it, is I'm going to do Shalene's 30-day push starting January 1st.
Okay.
Just to kind of, and if anyone wants to join, I'll post it in the group just to like start my year off very structured.
I think so. We're going to do the 12-week year if you wanted to do.
I want to read that. That's what I'm going to read next. I need to get.
So if you want to get that, Erica, Katie, and I are like, I bought it already. I think Erica needs it. And I think Katie, I don't know if you got it yet or not, but we're doing, that's what we're going to start our quarter with to do that one.
Yeah. I'll jump in with you guys.
I need the same thing. Like I need some structure.
I need to start off strong and just like, oh my goodness.
Okay, cool. If you guys don't need anything else, then we love you and we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.